Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Superboy 3. In the last episode, we took on rounds 9 through 12, and we are now taking on the last 4 rounds of the game. So, without further ado, let's begin. We start round 13 with the familiar music and bullet bills coming from the left and right sides of the screen. Believe it or not, unlike the first 2 games, the third game actually kinda keeps you on your toes at times, introducing new stuff every so often, even when you're on the last leg of the game. I actually kinda like that, but after dealing with the cheap cheeps in the first 2 games, I'm kinda not really in the mood for flying enemies. At least these things are far more predictable and they actually get out of the screen. And you can actually make some progress even while they're there. So that's usually a good sign that the game has actually improved a little bit. And you can actually take down the bullet bills with the fireballs, unlike the actual Mario games. How about that? Superboy 3! Superboy 3! I was waiting to do that. And we finally have some invincibility, and at this point, you'll have as many as 6 to 8 bullets popping up. Actually, there's 6. And you definitely want the invincibility whenever you can get it. Because the ones that come down from the bottom of the screen, they are much slower than the ones that come out from the sides. And you definitely want to take care of them as you take care of whatever else is in your way. And thankfully, after having enough practice on these stages, especially this one, I have a good idea of when to actually step back and where to step back. So that way I can take care of the bullets and take them down whenever necessary. So at least I won't get hit on my way to the boss and actually have my Fire Flower power intact. And there's not really much difference from the Fire Brothers in 13 through 16 as there are in rounds 9 through 12. So they don't throw anything new at you in terms of boss battles. Kind of. You'll see what I'm talking about later on. Round 14 takes us back to the castle, and we're actually using pipes as platforms. We also have these platforms rising from the lava as well. And you will definitely need to use them as soon as they pop up, because you will need to get from one rising platform to the next before the platforms come down. On that last platform, you definitely want to rush to the right and just run past all the thwomps. After getting a couple of coins, you'll be able to jump over the lava some more. Podoboos are strangely absent at this point. Don't know why that is. You'll be dealing with more moving platforms than anything else, up until you get to here. This is when the Podoboo start showing up again in full force, and they will all show up in where you don't want them to. They make leaping to these rising platforms a little harder. There will be a Podoboo every few steps. Also, the Rexes return here too. We haven't seen them since round 1. And we should be nearing a boss soon. Oh, no, we gotta deal with these things too. As for these platforms, at this point, you definitely want to leap to the right. You want to go all the way to the right, and then you want to leap to the right as soon as these platforms reach their highest point. You definitely want to keep making runny jumps so you don't have to rely on the platform, because if you have to rely on the other ones, you're probably going to die. Now we should be at the boss. And thankfully, I was able to get a few chance fireballs in before having to rely on my jump in order to get out of that. Round 15 has us out of the castle again. And we see some more stuff from round 1, apparently. The huge slope pipes are back. I find it weird that they had to be all zigzagging everything just so you can stand on them. It's like they just couldn't get the straight lines to work on the pipes, so they just did that. Also, the bonsai bills are back again. But after dealing with all that stuff we've dealt with in the game so far, going back to round 1, a round 1-ish level, is kind of a sigh of relief. Also, you definitely want to follow the coins in order to get to that area. And if you have invincibility, you can hit that bonsai bill just by running into it on your way there. As easy as this part is, having the fireball makes it even easier. Because you can just take care of all the enemies that are in your way. They just come straight to you and you can just fry them. And of course, in case you do get invincibility, you want to make sure there aren't any bonsai bills on screen careening towards you before you grab it. You get a little bit of water and some paratroopers here, but we are easily able to get past this. We get taken back to the water-ish area that had these things bouncing around as well as the logs. Thankfully, we won't be doing this for very long. So this area basically combines stuff from rounds 1, 3, and 4 just to show it all off to us again. Especially those moving platforms that we have to move with in case we want to survive. And thankfully I was able to make that jump. And that one. And we should be able to get up to this platform and then take care of this guy like we did like one of the Fire Brothers in the early levels. We actually have a huge Sledge Brother here replacing the Fire Brother, but he's really not that much different from the Fire Brothers. So same strategies apply when facing one of the giant Sledge Brothers, which inexplicably spit fire at you. And for the final round, we are finally in the castle one last time. We have to deal with more spikes than ever before. The Rexes come back. We have to deal with more thwomps than ever before. And it appears that we've already reached the boss. You'd think this would be the end of the game, right? Well, guess what? We have a few Fire Brothers to take down. And for the rest of the level, you actually have the boss music playing. And I'm surprised I jumped on that Rex. I'm actually glad that it just keeps this music playing and just doesn't go back to the regular castle level music, because I actually think this is the best music in the game, hands down, anyway. New enemy that's exclusive only to the final round of the game. These little fireballs that bounce off the corners of the screen. They do eventually disappear, unlike, say, the anti-fairies from Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link, which these things share the little movement patterns of. Once they return to the right, they actually do disappear. You can also jump on them or hit them with a fireball in order to get rid of them, too. So at least you're not completely powerless against those things. You may be spending most of your time waiting for these things to just get away. But thankfully, as long as you keep running, you should definitely have more than enough time to get through the final round. And I'm definitely pushing my luck here, but somehow I'm able to make it work. Just don't leap on every fireball that you see unless you absolutely have to, and you should be able to make it past these things. After this, we have some more rising and falling spike columns to jump over. And then we have these platforms again. So basically all the hazards and obstacles from the castle stages that we've seen, including the Podoboos, will be appearing one last time. You definitely want to be careful here because every new platform you race there is going to be a Podoboo. Now, if we had the Fireball, the Fire Flower, we would definitely be able to torch the sky from above, but sadly we cannot. So it's all the way back to the regular jump for me. Be sure to reposition yourself in the center after every time you face a boss, and you should be able to have enough time to react to things. Such as more Podoboos. And we are finally out of here. We just get taken straight outside at this point. We get to face one last boss, and it's just a boss based on the super large Hammer Brothers, the Sledge Brothers, from Super Mario Bros. 3. Which this game has taken sprites from. And once you beat this guy, you are finally done with Superboy 3. And I barely had enough time to get through that. At this point, Mario just walks to the right. And as this music plays continuously, we finally get to see the princess. It took us 3 games to get to the princess, but we got to the princess. And we get the end font from the ending of Super Mario Bros. 3. And we get a picture of Mario and the princess. And that's basically it. Yeah, they totally ripped a whole bunch of stuff from 3 and World. So, how is this game, especially compared to the first 2? Again, I want to say that I keep wanting to go between below average to just average. They did improve some stuff on the MSX version, and those improvements show on this Sega Master System port, but it's still something I wouldn't play every day. It's still a lousy game in some aspects, especially with the music, which is just so garishly annoying. What's up with that? I wish they had programmed the music better so it just didn't get loud at some parts sometimes and just bug out. But other than that, it's still a better game than the first 2, but other than that, it's just... I still wouldn't really recommend it unless you actually want a Superboy game to play. Speaking of Superboy games to play, there's still 4. I don't know if I'll go to that one right away. Kinda depends. I may find something else to do in the meantime. But that wraps it up for Let's Play Superboy 3. Hope you enjoyed watching the playthrough. Until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe, thanks for watching, and see you guys later!